Okay, so welcome everybody. It's Mikefield here, and we are doing a very first ever shoutcasted match of Darkest Dungeon Butcher Circus. We have Wistful Cider Lad facing Tibal. The rules are as follows: we play to the two wins, so this is a best of 3, and the players are allowed to switch their compositions between the matches. So anything else is allowed, so they can do anything they want, they can stick to the comp they were playing. And that's basically all there is. I'm gonna try to walk you through the game to the best of my ability right now. And we have Wistful Cider Lad on the left playing Tibal on the right. The first thing we have here is that Wistful opens up with the Abomination, and he'll probably be trying to pull out the Crusader there. No, actually he goes for a stealth on the PD, which allows him to not be pulled forward. That's a very, very good move. Also, this Occultist stealth actually grants you bonus stress damage dealt, so he's obviously doing this for a reason, and we're going to get a stunning blow here from the Crusader on the Abomination, which means that Abomination in turn cannot push out the Crusader of Tibal, which obviously kind of screws his plans over a little bit. We have the Bolster here. Bolster prevents the stress damage on your team, so you basically just take 15% less stress. Over time this adds up to some decent figures. It's gonna be quite cool here. We are going forward with the transformation on the Abo here. Sis, can you try to switch music on?
The birthplace of dread.
Okay. So we are going with the blinding gas, I believe.
Act now.
Right, this should do a lot of stress damage. See, 50 stress damage actually. Goes through. Since you have to just go for music in the game. So you just just a little bit just. It might be too loud right now. Okay, no, it's perfect. Actually, it's perfect. Thank you. Okay, so we get actually quite a lot of damage dealt to the Abomination. So we have the Grave Robber who used the darts, and then we have also a punch that was packed here. Oh yeah, that's a lot of stress and focus damage actually overall. The nice thing about Abomination is that they can use Absolution to heal. So it might be the case that he just goes for a heal now to prevent more stress damage accumulating over time. This is round 2, and we get another Disorienting Blast. It should do again about 50 stress on the backline of Tibal, and it's very, very good because you can see here already this is like a lot of stress stacked up. 150 is nothing to be trifled with. Really, this a lot of stress damage. It just went across the board here, and it is going to be quite a lot. Okay, we get a dodge here on the Occultist, which is very fortunate. You know, he has the Monkey's Paw, so it's quite good actually. We have the Bellow as a reply. The Monkey's Paw allows you to dodge quite often. The Occultist alone has quite significant base dodge, so this basically just allows him to you know, stay alive for certain bad situations, as we have here. That was a lucky dodge indeed, but this was a dodge that you know, was basically kind of deserved by the item he uses. He shouldn't dodge again this game, for, you know, statistically speaking, but yeah. We have the Afflicted Occultist just marking himself. That's something special here. That's something else. At the very same time, we get the pull on the PD. Eventually, this was delayed by 2 turns, and that's very, very good for Tibal, because the PD from the front can no longer just do AOE stress. However, we get the artillery down from the Occultist, so this allows Wistful Cider Lad to inflict some stress over time. That's also very good. For a stress composition versus stress composition, this is super important to just have like maximum action economy going for you, right? That's what's happening here. You can see Wistful Cider Lad's Abomination stuck in the back row and not really doing anything. The thing about Abomination in stress versus stress is that the horror actually does inflict stress over time, and it is a stress for 4 turns across the board with the right item. The Cloak here actually gives him that bonus, so this is quite a lot of stress overall. That's another dodge. This is very lucky actually. He doesn't have that much dodge here, so this was very, very fortunate for Cider Lad. This might be trouble for Tibal now, though Tibal has not taken any damage at all yet. He is like basically full HP across the board except for the Occultist. So that's maybe kind of playing in his favor. So because the deal is, if you're going stress versus stress, you usually play for heart attacks, right? And if you are full HP, or like, you know, even 1 HP and you take heart attack, you drop to 0. If you're at 0 HP, it kills you, right? So that's what is happening here right now. We're just trying to kind of stay alive, keep as much HP as possible until the heart attacks come. We have the Occultist who may drop to 0 actually right now. He will drop to 0, he'll get heart attack immediately, he'll drop back to 175 stress, and the next heart attack kills him. And Wistful Cider Lad has actually quite a lot of focus stress damage, so this might be the end of Tibal's Occultist so early into the game. However, on the other hand, we have Tibal, who is inflicting heavy stress damage, and actually Cider Lad can... There's a very neat trick you can do with the Abomination, where you remove the beast form and you go into the beast form on the following turn again, and this means you stack the horror again, like across the board or on all the enemies, right? And this is also like impossible to avoid, so that's another great thing about it. Okay, we get a Zealous Accusation dropped on 2 characters in the front here. That does a little bit of stress damage. So as I said, the Cider Lad goes back to the human form. This is forced by the affliction, so he'll automatically just go back to the human form. He will use Absolution this turn to just keep the stress low and heal a little bit. Next turn he goes back to the beast form and he drops the stress across the board again. It's best if you can do this at the very beginning of the fight as well, because this basically gives you quite a lot of bonuses here. Please don't tell me the stream dropped. Okay, we just had like very little DC here. We dodge again. This Occultist is insane. 40 dodge. He dodges 2 crucial attacks. He would be at death 100%. He would be dead probably by now if he hadn't dodged that. So that's kind of the luck factor that is involved in DD, though. You have to kind of live with this, right? We had this very lucky Occultist here for sure. We had a heart attack here, and actually I believe that unless he heals now, he is going to lose the Occultist straight away, because the PD can actually inflict enough stress to kill here. And the Occultist can as well. No, he might have the curse, so he might be able to. So he has to heal now. And 196. Okay, so he just goes for damage here. He knows he's downfall, so he just tries to do as much as he can. With 3 turns of horror for 18, that's significant, but maybe not enough. Okay, the Plague Doctor activates. He goes for Blinding Gas, so not only does he get the kill on the enemy Occultist now, he also stacks a lot of stress on the Grave Robber, which means she gets a heart attack. And we are at a very, we're basically at a breaking point for this game. Where, yeah, this is probably over at this point, because he has like so much, he's taken so much damage already. Oh my god, another dodge! This is inhuman. This should not be happening, guys. This should not be happening. That's a bit too much luck for him, I feel. So he could have finished. I'm surprised he didn't go for the kill here on the Grave Robber. Because the Crusader can still heal her, and you know she can last another turn. However, that dodge on the Occultist probably has sealed the deal here for us. It looks like this is it for this first game. Okay, Zealous Accusation goes down. Oh shit! That's another dodge. This is unbelievable stuff, guys. This is just absolutely unbelievable. We get another horror stack right now across the board, coming from Sis. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous, though. Okay, so we have the transformation here. He moves forward. We get like a little bit of lag here. Hopefully it did. Okay, so the Abomination of Tibal is inflicted. And this is trouble for him, because he has like basically very little to do here in this fight anymore. He is going to probably lose the Grave Robber no matter what right now, so the Grave Robber is going to go down. We have stress on the Occultist, stun on the Occultist, however, so this might kind of slow Cider Lad's progress a little bit. You might have noticed I call him Sis, because he's called Sis on Discord, and he's called Sis on my chat as well, so that's why I call him that. So Wistful Cider Lad goes and gets a kill on the Grave Robber, distresses characters that are remaining in the fight as well even further, so the breakdown is imminent. I feel like there is nothing he can do anymore. This fight was basically decided by those dodges. I feel like obviously they both played very well, but those dodges were insane for them. Okay, we get the Zealous Accusation here. This might inflict someone eventually, but that's not enough. I don't think this can ever be enough right now. Okay, we get the activation on the PD, I think. Now we go for the, we actually go for the stun. I think it's going to be a stun on the Crusader. So we get a stun going forward here. We get a stun on, oh, the Abomination. Okay, so we're just trying to kind of delay the turn the Abomination may take. Okay, that's reasonable. It can also stun next turn. He has no more beast form, however, right? That's something you have to remember. He can obviously use the bile though, so that's also going to add some stress and also give him the riposte, which does stack more stress overall. So Tibal isn't in the best spot right now. I'm not gonna lie here. I think he's like totally done in this fight. So we get a shuffle here. We get rid of the corpses. The Crusader is on the brink of death right now. He's gonna take 16 stress damage next turn. He's just gonna drop dead. So the Abomination here goes forward, passes the turn because of the afflictions, like, you know, basically a straw that broke the camel's back, I believe. This is just too much to kind of endure for Tibal. Tibal is really screwed right now, no shit guys, like he is really done. And it doesn't look too good for him in this very first game of the series. The Crusader gets a heart attack, which was very predictable, obviously, because he was at 100 and he was 118. He was gonna take the additional stress damage from Horror. He does drop the Zeus accusation. Remember, guys, you can still get unlucky in those matchups, or you can still get unlucky in stress versus stress, and you'll eventually die sometime. So that's what's happening here, I think. Yeah, this game wasn't definitely for Orochi, like this didn't go well for him at all. This is a dead Crusader, and we have just the Abomination left here. Probably gonna take a stress heart attack as well here. Boom, 200 stress, and he's dead as well. I think he's gonna just die this turn. There's nothing he can do. So I think we have GG's being called slowly, and we'll move on to the second match of the day very soon. So they're playing a best of 3, so we'll see how the second game of the series goes. Obviously, the players are allowed to make any adjustments they might want to do. So they're allowed to adjust their compositions. They are allowed to change everything about them. Oh, the death blow at 15% death blow resistance. Guys, Tibal was freaking cursed this game. There is no other way to put it. He just had no way of enduring this, and he goes down. In the very first game, we have our first winner here. We have Wistful Cider Lad taking the very first game of the series. I think he